We're talking about Yo Gotti, his mom, and CMG's rising superstar, GloRilla. The word on the street is that Gotti's mom has come back into the picture, back into the house, but with one big condition. She says she wants to see GloRilla face to face before she really feels comfortable being all the way back. Now, at first, that sounds wild, right? But when you dig into it, this is about more than just a meeting. This is about family, loyalty, trust, and the future of CMG as a dynasty. And we gotta unpack all of it, piece by piece, because this one runs deep. To really understand this story, you gotta understand how Yo Gotti operates. He's not just another rapper signing artists left and right for quick checks. Nah, CMG Collective Music Group is built like a family tree. Gotti's leadership has always been about loyalty and trust. That's why when you see artists like Moneybagg Yo, ESTG, and GloRilla thrive under his label, it feels more like a movement than just a record deal. But here's the thing. Behind every empire is a family, and behind Gotti's empire is his mother. She's been there from the jump. She's seen him grind his way out of Memphis. She's seen him hustle. She's seen the wins and the losses. And like any mom, she's protective. Protective of her son, protective of his legacy, protective of his name. So when she re-enters his space, it's not casual. It's not just a, hey, I'm back. It comes with expectations. It comes with conditions. So let's get to the heart of it. The condition. According to insiders, Yo Gotti's mom told him straight up, if I'm coming back, I need to see GloRilla face to face. Think about that. Out of everyone around him, out of all the business partners, all the artists, all the industry folks, she singled out GloRilla. Now, some people might hear that and think it's shade. Like, maybe she doesn't trust Glo. Maybe she questions her loyalty. Or maybe she just wants to test her. But another way to look at it is this. GloRilla isn't just any artist. She's the breakout star of CMG right now. She's the one carrying that next wave of attention. The one pulling headlines, winning nominations, rocking the stages. For Yo Gotti's mom, meeting her is like putting eyes on the future of the label. It's not just business, it's personal. She wants to see who's riding with her son, who's part of this family name, who's standing next to the empire. GloRilla is more than a hitmaker, she's a cultural moment. When she blew up with that raw Memphis sound, it wasn't just another song, it was a shift. Suddenly, CMG wasn't just about the rappers we already knew. It was about new energy, a new voice, a female powerhouse stepping into a space where not everyone thought she'd dominate. Yo Gotti signing her wasn't just smart, it was bold, and it paid off. But bold moves come with pressure. Because every time GloRilla shines, the spotlight doesn't just hit her, it hits CMG. It hits Yo Gotti. It hits the whole family. That's why his mom stepping in and saying, I need to meet her, makes sense. To her, it's not about fame or clout. It's about knowing who's influencing the legacy she helped protect from the beginning. She doesn't just want to hear about GloRilla. She wants to look her in the eye. Now let's break down the family dynamic here. For Yo Gotti, family and business have always been tangled. His mom stepping back into the house is a big deal because it means reconnection, it means healing, it means rebuilding bonds. But her condition shows that this isn't just about family dinners or catching up. It's about making sure the empire her son built doesn't get compromised. And look, every family has that moment where the mom, the dad, or the elder figure says, I need to know who you're hanging with. I need to know who's influencing you. I need to see if their spirit matches their words. That's what's happening here. It's just magnified by the fact that we're talking about a multi-million-dollar music empire, not just some casual friendship. However, word is spreading that GloRilla herself is angry and frustrated, and even suspicious, that Angela Simmons, Yo Gotti's high-profile girlfriend, might have manipulated Yo Gotti's own mother against her. Yes, you heard that right. One of the brightest stars in the CMG roster is starting to feel like forces inside the inner circle might be moving against her. And if this rumor holds even a bit of truth, the fallout could shake up not only her relationship with Yo Gotti, but the entire image of CMG as a family brand. Let's get into it because this story has so many layers, from family loyalty to business politics to the fragile balance between love, money, and trust in the hip-hop industry. To understand why this moment is so intense, we've got to rewind. GloRilla's story is one of the most powerful come-ups in recent hip-hop history. From Memphis, grinding hard, making raw, unapologetic music that resonates with the streets, she's become not just a rising star, but a voice for an entire movement. When Yo Gotti signed her to CMG, it wasn't just another business move, it was symbolic. He put his stamp of approval on her, showing the world that CMG wasn't just about established names like Moneybagg Yo or 42 Dugg, but also about investing in the future, in young talent that had the energy and hunger to carry Memphis into the next decade. But CMG isn't just a label. It's been built like a family. Yo Gotti's leadership has always been deeply tied to loyalty and trust. That's why, when his mother stepped back into the picture with conditions, people took notice. His mom reportedly wanted to see GloRilla face-to-face before she could feel truly comfortable. Now, depending on how you interpret that, it could mean she was just being protective, making sure her son's business and personal circle were solid. Or it could mean she had doubts about who GloRilla really is, about whether she fits into the image of what Yo Gotti has been building for years. And this is where things start to get complicated. Imagine you're GloRilla for a second. You've been putting in the work studio sessions, tours, interviews, features, and you've become one of the faces of CMG. Your loyalty has been on display, your grind undeniable. And then you hear that Yo Gotti's mom isn't sure about you, that she wants to sit you down, look you in the eye, and decide for herself if she can accept you as part of the family. That would sting. It would feel like your reputation, your worth, is on trial not because of your music or your work ethic, but because of perception, because of whispers and judgments. For someone like GloRilla, who's built her entire career on being authentic and unapologetic, this could easily feel like a slap in the face. She's not the type to play fake or water herself down to please anybody. So the idea that she has to prove herself to Yo Gotti's mom, that could definitely light a fire of anger and frustration inside her. And according to people close to the situation, she's been asking tough questions behind the scenes, like why this energy is directed at her specifically, and who might have been putting ideas in Gotti's mom's head. And that's where Angela Simmons comes into the picture. Angela Simmons isn't just a random girlfriend. She's a businesswoman, a public figure, someone with her own legacy. But ever since she and Yo Gotti made their relationship public, her presence has shifted the energy around him. She's been by his side at events, she's posted about him, and she's played the role of supportive partner in full view of the media. On the surface, it looks like love. But the question is, how much influence does Angela really have behind closed doors? Some fans believe Angela may not be GloRilla's biggest supporter. Maybe she doesn't like the way Glo represents herself. Maybe she feels Glo's wild and raw style doesn't fit the polished image she envisions for Gotti's empire. Or maybe it's just personality clashes. Whatever the case, the suspicion bubbling right now is that Angela might have spoken to Yo Gotti's mom, maybe voicing concerns, maybe planting seeds of doubt about GloRilla. And when GloRilla heard about Yo Gotti's mom's condition, it didn't take long for her to connect the dots. To her, it started to look like Angela was pulling strings, manipulating how the mother sees her, and by extension, shaping the entire energy of the CMG household. Now, we can't overlook Yo Gotti's mom in this. From her perspective, she's simply looking out for her son and his empire. She knows the industry is full of snakes, opportunists, and people who smile in your face while plotting behind your back. To her, GloRilla might just be another new person in her son's orbit. And as a mother, she feels like it's her responsibility to make sure everything is solid. Wanting to meet GloRilla face-to-face could just be about energy, about getting a read on who this young woman really is. But here's the catch. In the world of hip-hop, perception is everything. GloRilla doesn't see this as a neutral move. She sees it as judgment, as suspicion, as being singled out. And if she even thinks Angela had a hand in influencing this decision, It turns from a family matter into a political game inside CMG. That's what makes this moment so delicate. What could be a simple motherly instinct is now being framed, at least in GloRilla's eyes, as manipulation. And of course, social media is eating this story alive. Fans are picking sides. Some are saying, Angela Simmons needs to stay out of CMG business. She's not an AR, she's not management, she's just Gotti's girlfriend. Others are defending Angela, arguing, if she really cares about Gotti, then of course she's going to have opinions. That doesn't mean she's manipulating anybody. There are also fans who think GloRilla is overreacting, that her anger is misdirected. But just as many say they unders